Hello students, in this video we are going to study about the Prelims 2 question paper. We are just going to solve the whole question paper. So let us start with it. The question paper was already uploaded on the channel 2-3 days before. So I just gave you the time to solve this question paper. So today we are going to discuss the answers for it. Okay. So the answer for first question, that is complete the following chain. So we have three columns, that is column A, column B and column C. So we have social factors as the first column. So social factors will come under migration and marriage. Okay, these are the social factors. Then we have second one, that is tertiary occupation. So out of all these options given, trade is one of the tertiary occupation, and communication will also come under tertiary occupation. Even tourism can come under tertiary occupation. Next is mountains. Mountains, Dehradun is a place which is covered by mountain, and it is a tourism place. Okay, basically we find that lots of mountains like Mahabaleshwar, Lonavala, Shimla, Dehradun. So all these mountains have turned into a tourist spot because of good attraction. Next we have cultivable waste. So what is cultivable waste? It is land left fallow for more than 5 years and it can be brought under cultivation. So this is about the cultivable waste. And then we have geographical technique. So computer science is a new evolved technique which we can see in geography, and it is used in geography with the help of GIS. Next question is question number 1B. We have to select a correct alternative out of 4 options. So the first question is, dash settlement is found at the confluence of the river. So the right answer here is triangle. So wherever the river confluence means what? When the two rivers they meet at a certain point, and that confluence, that junction of those rivers are called as triangular. Settlements can be seen at those places. Next, dash is not included in the lithosphere. So what is not included in the lithosphere? So the thing is weather. Next, in dash forest region, trees are filled in winter. So we have the options like temperate, coniferous, boreal and tropical rainforest. So the right answer is tropical deciduous forest. Okay, so in such type of forest, the trees are felled in winter. Next, the highest sex ratio in the world is recorded in dash. So it is recorded in Ukraine. Next, in dash industries, semi-skilled laborers are essential. So we have options like food processing, electronic, construction, chemical. So in all these industries, we require a semi-skilled person, okay, which has a knowledge or which is not that much perfect, means not that much expert. So the options are a bit confusing. The right answer here, it is electronics. Okay, apart from all food processing, construction and chemical, electronics is one of the occupation or industry where you can require a semi-skilled labor. Next is identify the correct correlation. So the assertion and reasonings, two statements are given. So for assertion, you need to give a proper explanation. That is the reasoning statement. So A, some products are processed in the secondary activities, and reasoning is some products received from primary activities cannot be consumed directly. Now both A and R, both of them are the correct statement, because not all the products we eat raw. We need to process those products sometimes. So first statement is correct, and second statement is also correct, that some of the primary products we can consume directly and we cannot consume directly also. Okay, so both A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A, is the right answer, that is option 3. Now next is A, assertion. In stage 5, the death rate is more than the birth rate. Okay, and reasoning is given like population is declining in stage 5. So yes, so both the statements are true, and R is giving a correct explanation for A, that because of declining in population and because of more death rate, because of that there is death rate more than birth rate. Next, water transport is used for international trade of bananas, and reasoning here is bananas are perishable goods. Okay, so we all know reasoning. Banana is an perishable good because it is correct. It never lasts more than 3 or 4 days once it is removed. Okay, and water transport is used for international trade of bananas. Water transport is the most cheapest mode of transportation, but it consumes a lot of time. So if there are some perishable goods which has to be delivered very soon, so we don't use water transportation because it requires a lot of time. So for such type of products we use air transportation. So only R is the correct statement. Next, A, assertion. In India, industries are widely distributed, and reasoning is India is predominantly agrarian country. So both the statements are correct. We all know that the most preferred occupation in India is agriculture, and industries are widely distributed, means they are not seen at a single place, but they are unevenly and widely distributed everywhere. So both A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A. Next, assertion is areas having fertile soil have dense population, and reasoning is fertile soils are good for agriculture. So third statement, that is both A and R are correct, and R is the correct explanation of A is the right answer, as fertile soil is definitely good for agriculture, and wherever the soil is fertile you can see large amount of human settlements, and because of that the population is very much dense. Next question is question number 1D. You just have to find out the odd man out, that is the incorrect factor. So industrial regions of Europe and Russia. So we all know Ural, Volga, Vladimir and Siberia. So out of this, B, option B, Volga is the odd man out, that is an incorrect factor. Next, country which had crude death rate less than 10 years, less than 10 in the year 2017. So the right answer here is Greece. Next, on Trans-Australian Railway, important stations are, so the important stations are Sydney, Perth, Melbourne. Out of them, Adelaide is the wrong answer, incorrect option. So it is removed as the wrong man out. Next, industrial towns in India. So we can see industrial setup in Pimpri Chinchwad. There is industries in Latur, Navi Mumbai, except Thane. Next, an important airport on Mumbai-London air route. So Karachi is an incorrect factor here. Next, give geographical reasons. We have the first geographical reason, that human geography is multidisciplinary in nature. So minimum 3 or 4 points you need to write in such type of answers to gain full marks. So basically we all know that human geography is dealing with all the human activities, like what is the density of population, what is the sex ratio, then demographic dividend and all those things. We just require to understand the human correlation, population and composition. Okay, so it influences the culture and economy level of a country. So basically human geography is a social science study which works as an interface between human as well as geography attributes. So social science like psychology, political science, economics, history, demography are very closely related to human geography, and such social geography, political geography, economic geography and historical geography also. So because of that it is called as multidisciplinary in nature. Next is regional development is dependent on physical factors. Now we all know that based on physical factors all other things are dependent. So if there is a plain surface, then definitely the development is encouraged. In the case of transportation, in the case of fertility of soil, you can see various setup of industries, agriculture, and ultimately such places are developed very soon as compared to other regions where the climate is not favorable, or the places which are covered by hills and mountains. So they have an extreme type of climatic conditions. So such places are not much favorable for human settlements, hence they are less populated. So depends on the location, depend on the relief, depend on the demography of that particular area. The development of that area is totally dependent. So this is the statement that regional development depends on the physical factors. Next, demographic dividend increases when the proportion of working population increases. Now we all know that the working population is the population which is between 15 to 60. Okay, so 15 to 45. Okay, so these are the populations which work, and they don't depend on anyone else. Okay, but above 60, above 65, the population is totally dependent. Okay, they don't work. So if the working population is more, definitely it is going to boost the per capita income. It is going to increase the economic level of that particular region. Hence, it also increases the demographic dividend. Next question. Growth of urban areas is linked to land use in the rural areas. So we all know that land use in urban areas is quite different from that of rural area. If you see that the rural area is basically engaged in primary occupations like agriculture, animal husbandry, fishing, okay, so grazing, such type of things are done in the case of rural areas. But in the case of urban areas, you can see it is much more developed, and it is not engaged in primary, but it focuses more on secondary and tertiary activities. So basically the land use is in the form of constructions of residence, industries, institutions, recreational areas, insurance companies, college, schools. Okay, so such type of land use is seen in the urban areas. So definitely growth of urban areas is definitely linked with land use in rural areas. Next is hunting is being banned. So as we all know, several species of animals are getting to an extent. So they are falling to the verge of extinction. So to protect or to conserve such type of animals, the hunting of animal is banned in various countries to avoid the imbalance in the ecosystem. Next, importance of air transportation is increasing. Now we all know that to travel to a very long distance of time within a short period of time, the best transportation mode is the air transportation mode. So if there is more air transportation set up in a particular country, that country can have a good economic growth as well as a good development. So it is very useful in the case where you want to send the perishable goods, valuable goods, lightweight goods, or some uh, antique goods to the places where it is very much deficit. It facilitates integrating into global economy and provides vital connectivity on a national, regional and international scale. Nowadays, even the tourism is the fastest growing industry in the air transport, is more used for international tourism. Therefore, the proportion of airways as the means of transportation is increasing. Now, the next question is question number 3, distinguish between. So, it is for 3 marks. You need to write at least 3 points or 6 points in this. So, the first difference is between secondary and tertiary activity. So basically secondary is totally dependent on the primary activities for their raw material. They convert the raw material into some finished good. The tertiary activity is called as a service sector, which provides a service which is based on trade, which is based on transportation. So if the development of secondary activity is more, it is definitely going to be dependent on the primary activity. So tertiary activities helps ones to reach to the goal or to some place. Okay, so basically it helps the goods and commodities or the consumers to move from one place to another place. So secondary activities may be away from the settlement or market, and tertiary activities are always near the market. So this is all about the half paper. The remaining paper we'll solve in the next video. Thank you for watching. Do subscribe the channel.